I've been meaning to talk about this for a while now, but I keep forgetting to do it in lieu of other topics. But today I thought I would go ahead and talk about why filming my process makes me nervous as you watch my process on my latest Mermays. Hey dearies, this is June of June Sketches. I always had difficulty performing or presenting myself in front of people. It's nerve-wracking and it questions my entire being every single time. So obviously filming myself draw or recording myself talk makes me nervous. Even more so that I am talking in front of the camera for this vlog. I stumble over words I don't usually stumble, just like that, stumble on when I'm writing, whether by keyboard or by pen. I'm usually quite eloquent as long as I'm not speaking out loud. But, I mean, who isn't? It started, well, not started. As far as I could remember, I have always been a ball of twitching nerves when it comes to presenting myself to people. When I was in first grade, I remember we had to recite the multiplication table in front of the entire class. I was neither brilliantly smart nor exceedingly social, so I can't say that I got along with the class very well. So, presenting myself in front of them was very nerve-wracking. As a child, and even now, I was a short munchkin that basically already hated the entire world, and I did not like school. I was still living in the Philippines at the time, so pair my disdain for schools with the rigorous tendencies of a private school, then you've got a very incongruent matchup. Moving to the States didn't do me any good. Like, I was still quite withdrawn as a child. My saving grace was going to daycare. Because of daycare and the tendency of daycares being niche and having only a certain amount of kids, I was able to open myself up because it gave me a chance to be with the same people constantly. And I think that could be true for a lot of people, to just have that constancy helps build their confidence. And so after moving, I was able to break away from my bubble, and I joined competitions, I participated in events. I also ran for vice president, which I won. In grade school, both in the Philippines and here in the States, I was often bullied by boys. There's a saying that boys bully boys, and that if boys bully you or tease you, it means that they like you. I do not agree with that. Especially because I was a small child growing up. It was very annoying having these boys bully me. Like, what did I ever do to you? And when I was in the Philippines, I would often use other people to protect me, including my sister. But moving to a different country and following their school system, My sister and I ended up in 2 different schools because she's 4 years older than me, and she was already in middle school and I was still in grade school. So, and I didn't have that many friends going into school here in the States, like the first months. So I had to learn for myself how to defend myself. And oftentimes, I threatened to hit them where it hurts. Their ego. In middle school and high school, that spunky child in me kind of sizzled out and I became timid. But thankfully, I was surrounded by supportive friends and teachers who encouraged me to get out of my box little by little. I became social to a point, and I decided to explore to a point. All of them to a point. Not very experimentative. As I am now. But high school was a bunch of finding out what I maybe liked, what I maybe didn't like, and mostly about realizing that there was something fundamentally wrong with my life, but not exactly knowing what that was. I often think that middle school was this big game of charade that I played by myself. No one knew that I was playing a role. Meanwhile, high school was me trying desperately to keep the charade going, but realizing that it's crumpled to useless pieces. Basically, in high school, I tried to aim for your stereotypical Asian straight A's kind of thing. I mean, I was pretty smart, but also I was more hard work than I was anything else. And when I got into high school, sans 9th grade, I started getting bad grades. Here and there, not all throughout, like just one subject at a time, right? And so like this is one of the worst things that could happen to an Asian kid like myself, with parents who had high expectations and their personal dreams weighing over my shoulder. So it was a time for me to cultivate my hatred even more for the world, for everyone, and everything, while also maintaining my regular angsty teen self. Because everyone's gotta have some angst when they're in their teenage years, right? It's part of growing up. But also, even though I was being rebellious, it was all in my head. It's all within my head. Because I still had to maintain the facade of this goody two-shoes, tiny Asian child that I had already made myself to be. But I was basically a ball of mess, but I was a contained mess. It didn't remain like that. Obviously, here I am. I am better off than I was before, definitely. But there were things that were wrong and broken, things that needed to be addressed, and things that I wish I had addressed with people who I trusted. And it took me a lot of time to figure out what those things were. Otherwise, my journey with college and without it wouldn't have been the way that it was had I had someone to address that stuff with me. Because, you know, I was 18 years old and I had no one. And now I'm this much older and a lot better. But I still waver a lot when it comes to the image of who I am. Despite loving the me now, it's still very, very awkward sharing that image to the people. I can barely show myself to friends and family, let alone to you guys. But I decided I would film my face this time because I just felt like, since I've been quite experimental in this short vlog series, I should at least try this out and not just kind of write it out. Also, it's a good time to tackle a fear. I can't say that I will do this again, but I also won't discount the idea of it. Maybe I won't talk right at the camera, maybe have something like this. This kind of feels a lot better, talking to a window, maybe. But also, maybe I will talk in front of the camera. I don't know, honestly. I'll probably play it by ear if you guys enjoyed seeing my face while I create my artwork. Then leave a comment below or a like, give it a like. And if you guys are wondering, I am barefaced. I don't wear makeup. I don't like makeup. It makes my face feel heavy. Is that a thing? I don't know. And just to tell you guys a little bit about the artwork that you saw, they are characters from my novel, Listening to Georgiana. The first was Georgiana, and the second was Abigail. Now, I thought to record them and to do the video of them because I thought they played in conjunction to my storytelling for this video. It just fit, like, this very personal childhood-ish memory of mine in conjunction with my story that I wrote of Georgiana that is my life, basically. I mean, if you're interested in my talks about depression and what I went through, not exactly how I solved my issue, you might enjoy reading Listening to Georgiana. It's a very raw confession, basically, of a girl struggling with depression and anxiety. And a lot of the emotions in that story, if not all, are true to me, true to my experience. And a lot of the other characters in that story are based off of real people. Some of them a bunch of different people, and I just mix them all together. But basically, the story tackles all kinds of mental health stuff and characters who struggle in different ways, but also in similar ways, and how together they find, kindred spirits. Mostly it's about Georgiana. That's why it's called Listening to Georgiana. But she also talks about other characters within the story who struggle, and it has a very small sprinkling of love stories, like very little. It's mostly about Georgiana's depression. Yeah. I have some plans for that novel, aside from publishing it on Tapas, which you can read it now. I've updated up to sub-chapter 4, I think. I do sub-chapters because my chapters are about 10,000 words in total, because my entire book is 50,000 words, just about, and I have 10 chapters, so it's a lot of words per chapter, and I didn't want to bombard people with that much updates, so I did it in sub-chapters, which has about 1K each chapter. And yeah, you can read up to chapter 3 right now, and I plan to finish it by this year. I update twice a week, Monday and Thursday, 4 p.m. If you guys are interested, please give it some love if you decide to read it. It's very close to my heart. It's very much like these vlogs, very poetic and introspective. Is that a word? Yes. Introspect. It's a word. But yeah, listening to Georgiana is available on Tapas for anyone who wants to read it. But I also have, like I said, I had plans for the novel. I'm thinking of doing a podcast, read aloud collection of the chapters, so that if you don't want to read, you can listen to an audio version. Oh, I don't know why I threw out the quotation marks. It is an audio. But yeah, maybe, I don't know just how I'm gonna do it just yet, but it is a plan of mine. Why am I sharing it? I have no idea. I thought that maybe you guys would be interested in knowing. But yeah, thank you for watching this video and for staying throughout the entire video, honestly. And if you're not already subscribed, do subscribe and hit the bell notification to be notified. The weekly updates will only last until I finish all my mermaids, and then I'm back to once a month. It's a lot of work filming my process, not only because I get nervous and so it takes me forever to draw, but also my computer likes to heat up and it slows down my entire process. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next. Bye! When I was in first grade, I remember that we used to recite the multiplications. When I was in first grade, I remember having to recite the multiplications table in front of... I got it right that time.